Howdy folks, welcome to Little John's Brew Day. It's the day after, no, it's not the day after Australia Day, it's the day after Australia Day, which was meant to be the brew day with the beer monsters. They've just been up for a couple of days, we've had a great time, but we were going to brew yesterday, this beer, but we decided we'll just happy to just hang about and drink some beers and shoot the breeze and have a bit of a swim and eat some food and all that sort of stuff you do when you're hanging out having some beers. So it didn't happen. But anyway, we're underway. Mash water's come to temp. I've got all my mineral additions in there. Just milled the grain. So I'm about to walk over there and start getting the mash in. We're doing a American amber ale with some Australian Redgum Smoke Malt. This was the decision to do for Australia Day. We're going to make a beer with some Redgum. This is stuff I got down from Keep King when I was down there a couple of months back, and I've been waiting to use it and I sort of held it back to you this Australia Day weekend. So anyway, Redgum Smoked American Amber Ale. Let's go over to the nano and we'll get the mash happening. Righto. American Amber Ale with some Australian Redgum Smoke Malt. Sounds to me like a bloody beautiful beer for autumn, which isn't that far away, and by the time this beer's brewed, fermented, conditioned a little bit, it'll be absolutely ready for drinking come autumn. If I can get the grain bag in, then we'll have much more chance of getting it ready for autumn. But, okay, everyone knows it always gives me grief. You'd think by now I would have worked out to not do this on camera, wouldn't you? Eh? Oh well. It's all good. So, 23 litre batch today, full volume. Yeah, something a little bit different. Everyone's, no, they don't normally do full volume, but because this beer was meant to happen yesterday with the brew monsters, with the beer monsters, then I'm doing a full batch so I can get 9 litres of this myself, and I can add a few bottles on the end and ship it off to all the boys so they all get to try the beer that they were supposed to make. So 24 litres of mash water in the pot. I've got all the minerals adjustments in here. There's a couple of extras. I've got a little bit of canning salt, a little bit of baking soda, which I needed just to get the water up to the target profile for the amber ale. I couldn't get it just with a basic gypsum, Epsom salt and some calcium chloride. So I had to go a little bit extra. Couldn't get the hardness up to the target, but that's neither here nor there. It's up enough. So we mash it in. We've got a big whack of Voyager schooner malt as our base, and then we're running a couple of specials. We've got some Cara wheat to bring in a little bit of just to keep a little bit of tartness, a little bit of dryness in the back palate. And also give a little bit of colour. Some SM40, some Cara Munich 2, both only a couple of percent, both to bring up the caramel notes and the colour. A whack of caramel light, which sits sort of somewhere between a Carafils and a pale crystal, so it just gives a nice, that'll give some nice bready tone, and certainly won't hurt with a little bit of head retention. And finally, about 5% Redgum, smoked Redgum. That's a malt from Voyager. And it smells like and tastes like a campfire. You know, when you nibble on it, it tastes like what you imagine a campfire would taste like if you could put it in your mouth and eat it. Yeah, I know it sounds a bit of it's a strange way of describing it, but that's the first thing I thought when I tried it. Just popped it, and even now I'm smelling it, and it's it's like you're been sitting around a campfire all night when you wake up the next day and you're still wearing the same clothes you had last night because you had a few too many you had a few too many amber beverages the night before around the campfire, and what you smell like. That's what it's like. It's rich and smoky and sweet. So I'm hoping she's going to work really, really well. Alright, so we'll put this pump back on. Try to lean back a little bit. I don't want to go on too silly. Alright, so I'm matching at 65 degrees, thereabouts, for 50 minutes. Then I'll go to mash out. But for now, I'll let this do its thing and I'll come back in 50 minutes to see how she's travelling. Righto, we're 50 minutes in, so that's mash completed. I'll first step the mash. This smells absolutely amazing. It's like someone's cooking bacon over the campfire, and you get to just sit back and enjoy it. Let's see if we can get a bit of an idea where we're travelling gravity wise. Okay, it's telling me 1054. I think target post boil is 1051. So I think by the time we spark and boil, I think we're pretty close. I don't know for sure. I haven't actually checked what I should be getting right now. But as for now, I'm going to raise this to 72 degrees after I've given it a good stir, and I'll leave it for another 30 minutes. And then we'll come and pull the bag, and I'm not going to pull the bag. We're going to get a sparge on. But I'll talk about what's actually happening when we get there. So, see you shortly. Righto, so mash is finished. We've done 72 degrees for 30 minutes. Check where we're at. Around 1060, 1061, which I think is going to work pretty well spot on. So, I've heated the sparge water up in the Robo Brew over here. I've got about 17.5, 18 litres. Recipe tells me I need 15, so I'll just sparge until I've got enough volume. And what I'm going to do, I'm going to boil in the Robo Brew. This avoids me having to get this bag out of here. The hernia is getting pretty bad, and I'm struggling to get it out. So instead of injuring myself, I'm going this way. And this is how I had planned on getting this set up. So I'll take my recirc. And run him into the Robo Brew. Now I'm going to have to be careful that doesn't come flying out on me. Over a bit further. Righto. Pop the pump on. She's good. Now I've got no throttle on that, so it's going to come out quicker than I really want. And I've lost me bloody water jug, which is dodgy because I'm going to start losing water way quicker than I wanted. What? So good. Get him in there. Yeah, I need to get a, I put the tap on the inlet to the mash tun, to the recirc, but I didn't put one on the actual outlet of the pump. I took it off and I readjusted. So I need to replumb that, because I ideally want to be drawing this off a hell of a lot quicker than what I am. But what I'm going to do, just to counteract it a little bit, is I'm going to shut that off and top this bar's water up. And just give this mash a chance to bloody actually flush. But otherwise we're going to miss a whack of sugars. I have got a little contraption which Steve gave me. Steve, by the way, your bloody lollipops you left here, your lollipop chicken are in the oven. I'm having them for lunch. But it crushes the hose. It's meant to restrict the flow, but it only gets so far, and I just want to go any further, and it's not enough to really be of any benefit. So we'll sort of, I was trying to do a fly sparge. We'll just end up doing more of a batch sparge. That's not an issue. Either way it works. I prefer to do a fly sparge. I just think you get a little bit better efficiency. But at the end of the day, it's probably only, yeah, 1 point of gravity and no more than that. So not a biggie. And at some point down the track, sometime this year, I will be trying to stand together and actually getting this set up on a level setup, at which point I will get it set up so I'm actually just fly sparge directly into this from another vessel. So I'll continue to transfer and see what we're going. So I'm just going to quickly go and check the pre-boil volume, and I'll cut that off when I get to there, regardless of what's in here. So I'll come back shortly. We'll have a chat about some hops, and I'll update you on how we went with final gravity and final volume from the mash. Rightio. Boil is not far off, maybe 5-10 minutes. It's up around 86 degrees at the moment. I didn't get a sample. Hang on a second. I'll just give that bloody a minute just to cool down. The refrac's not accurate once you get above that bloody 70 degrees. So the Recoverale slash Brewzilla, she's yay far from the top. Pre-boil volume is set at 32 degrees. I'm probably, what I've got, 31. It's hard to say because the measurements are out a little bit on that, I know that. So we'll wait and see. Come the fermenter, we may need it just a little top up. At the moment, I'm travelling all right. I'm slurping down a hard seltzer. This is the Extravaganza 19 brew, which will be a video coming probably within the next week. It's just finished getting carved up. This is a lemon and lime mangrove jacks pack. I've just added a little bit extra lemon and lime and a bit of bitters because the base one is just a little light on flavour. Quite nice. I've had one while I've been going this morning, but I'm just sitting down to having lunch. I'm having another one. It's drinking quite alright. Just quickly, as I said, lunch. Courtesy of Steve Varell, who left me a nice bag of chicken lollipops. So they've just come out of the oven. So while they're coming down to easy eating tab, let's talk about hops. So first hop addition is at, well, it's actually at 40 minutes. It's not at 6. It's a 60-minute boil. First hop addition is at 40 minutes. That's 13 grams of Columbus for 18 IBU. And then we've got a 7 gram addition of Eldorado at 15 minutes, it's 4 IBU. 13 grams of Amarillo for the same 4 IBU at 10 minutes. And then 20 grams of Citra at 5 minutes to give us 5 IBU. So that gives us a total IBU of 30, I think it's 32, 18, 26, 31 IBU. So there's no whirlpool hops, there's no dry hopping on this one. It's a malt focused beer, so we're going to leave it that way. So 60-minute boil, we'll drop the hops in at the right times, and we'll put the chiller in towards the end and we'll cool it straight away. So I'm going to weigh the hops up, eat me lunch, and by then I think we'll be looking at dropping the first hops in. Right, we're 20 minutes into the boil, first hops are going in. Pre-boil gravity was 1044, which is bang on target. So we're looking good. 15-minute hops, that's Eldorado. Chillers in. Getting ready to cool and getting sanitised. All good. Okay, 10 minutes. 13 grams of Amarillo, yeast nutrient, wall clock. Boom. Looking good. Alright, 5-minute addition. 20 grams of Citra. Yeah, surely we'll shut this off. We'll put the get the water on and get it chilled. So we'll come back now and we'll have a look once she's done. We've got in the fermenter and see what numbers we got. Righto, we're all done. She's cooled, she's settled. Recoverale is showing about 25.5 litres, but it tends to be about 2 litres out, so maybe we've got 27.5. Target was just over 28 litres, so we're pretty close. I don't know what the final gravity is, so I've got a sample there. I'm going to start this, and we'll go and we'll have a look at the sample and see what we're finished up with, and we'll have a look at the yeast. Righto, we are done. 23.5 litres into the fermenter, and we still had some left in the Recoverale. So volume has not been an issue, which is good. I was concerned with the double transfer, basically how we're going to go, because it has caused problems previously. Anyway, it's gone alright, so, but it's going to depend on the final gravity as well. So we've got 23.5 litres in the fermenter. Okay, I was looking at I was running 62% efficiency. That was, given unexpected losses. So let's see where we're at. Okay, we're under gravity. We're under gravity. Yeah, I'm going to call that 1046. We were looking for 1051. So that's on. Give me a second. That's the excess from the brew. I've actually just drained it all. Now there's a bit of sludge in that because it's taken right from the bottom, but that is about 2.25 litres. So at 25.5 litre fermenter, we've got 57 efficiency. If had I taken an extra litre, 59. But taking the extra 2 litres, we've beat 62, so we're in the mark. It's just That's just an over volume issue. So that's just a that's just an adjustment somewhere on the volume, but that's all good. I'm happy with the 1046, and like I said, this is the first run using this combination, so I wasn't really expecting to hit exactly on the numbers. I'm 5 points off. That's not, I mean, it's not huge. It is a little more than I would have liked. But I'm just going to run with that. It's given me an expected ABV of about 4.5. I really would have liked this to be in the low fives. Yeah, no, I'm just going to run with it. I'm sort of thinking, well, yeah, should I throw a little bit of dry malt on it? Because I've got plenty there. That's not like I can't do it. But I don't know. What's it taste like? What's it taste like? That's the big question at the moment. Whether it's going to handle the extra sweetness of the, you know, maybe another, 200 grams of dry malt. Let's see, let's okay, you know, that's quite nice. Thinking I could have gone 400 on the smoke, but it is quite smoky here in the. Every time I walk out of the garage, come back in, there is a very distinct, you know, campfire smell. So it may, at the moment, it may just be being covered up by the sweetness. So that once the fermentation's happened, the smoked flavour might become a little bit more noticeable. So yeah, I'm just going to leave it at the moment. I think that's going to be nice. I think that's going to be quite a nice beer. It's going to be quite drinkable. So I'm not going to, you know, stuff around with it as it is. Like I said, I think putting dry malt in now just takes a chance of making it a little bit too sweet. I think it'd handle it, but no, let's just go with that. So first brew on the new system. I'm within 5 points. I said within 5 points and over volume, so it's recoverable to get back to the target. So that's not an issue. If I was on fucking volume target, like if I was actually got my final volume, and was, you know, was 5 points under, that'd be a different story. But I can recover those 5 points by pulling that 2 litres back and getting the volume right. So that's easily fixed. So not a problem. I'm good. So guys, that's it. Brew day. Thanks for watching. Shout out to all the Patreons of the channel. Extra shout out to new Patreon Steve Ward. Welcome along, mate. If you're interested in Patreon, there's a link down the bottom. Jump on, check it out. Might be just for your thing. And it's the stuff that keeps me doing the experimental stuff and allows me to brew different beers. If you're subscribed, thank you. If you're not, hit the subscribe button. If you like what's going on, hit the thumbs up down the bottom there. But for now, that's me, Little John. This beer I'm calling the Straya Day Recoverale, because it was meant to be brewed on our Straya Day Recovery Day. It ended up an extra day. It doesn't, as Con the Fruiter would say, doesn't matter. A couple of days. All good. So, yeast, not going to grab it. I am pitching 1 packet of US-05 and 1 packet of BRY-97, simply because I don't have 2 packets of either, and I actually thought I had 2 packets of 05 in the fridge, but I don't. And I'm surprised. I'm actually surprised I've got 2 packets of one or the other. But they're so similar in character and finish, it's not gonna hurt to do that. I generally don't recommend pitching 2 different kinds of yeast, but when there's such a similar strength, it's not going to really hurt. So, but I've got to do it. Yeah, I should have done a starter, but with the Beer Monster Straya Day celebrations, just wasn't going to work in. So we're going to go with that. In the fridge, ferment, temp, is 18 days for 6 days, 4 days at 21, cold crash for 4 days at 2 degrees, and bottom up. So it's a total fermentation for 14 days. Who'd know it with Little John? 14 days, that's an unusual number. Anyway, that's where it's going. So, till I see you on the next brew video, where we might be brewing beer, drinking beer, or talking beer. Yeah, good brewing. No, that smoke's there.